economic advisor David-Ndii, Mohamed Hassan, Davis Chirchir, and the young man at EPRA. Those four gentlemen have done something phenomenal in our country. They have managed to put together a program that has taken us away from looking for $500 million every month to buy our fuel needs, which was slowly snowballing into a crisis. Today, as a country, we can buy fuel in Kenya shillings, something that many people never thought it would be possible. Again, I want to commend these good people. And let me tell you that from this month of April, all our fuel marketers and all the people in that space, they will be able to buy our products, fuel products, in Kenya shillings. And it will remove pressure on our dollars. In fact, in the next 1 month or so, you will see dollars coming down, the exchange rate coming down in a very phenomenal way. In fact, in my estimation, in the next couple of months, the exchange rate will come below 120 shillings.
That video was captured in April 2023, that is last year, when the head of executive, William Samoei Arap Ruto, praised the Dubai deal, which was touted as a silver bullet in solving our dollar crunch and perennial inconsistencies in the supply of oil in the country. And by that time, things were rosy. The president praised the gentleman and also praised the deal that was even going to help us solve the dollar issue. 8 months later, after extending it further for another 1 year, the Treasury CS Njuguna Ndung'u, in a report that was filed by the IMF after then giving us a loan facility, is throwing David-Ndii and the EPRA men and women behind the G2G deal that it is a scam and that it has failed. It is a deal that has flopped and has failed to meet its objective. And I want us to look at this because it exposes the colossal incompetence of economic bookmasters that executive is banking on to have a roller coaster on our economy. Some of us have been insisting that the crop of the officials we have as economists are quite people, are just a bunch of incompetent fellows. Raila Odinga raised questions, and that was, I think, in October, saying that there was nothing like G2G and it has failed to meet its objective. The government machineries were unleashed on him, and the head of executive is on record defending that deal. And most of us felt that the defense, the rate at which the state was shielding G2G was suspect, but this is what transpired.
And is only owned by the government of Kenya through a joint ownership by the ministries responsible for the petroleum function. How does Chirchir explain the exclusion of this corporation in favor of private shady firms? If he was signing, he should have signed with the minister. Is equivalent on the other side. But those companies are the ones who should sign with the NOC, not the minister. We also know that for a ship to leave one port for another, loaded with goods, it has to get a letter from the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum indicating that the ship is authorized to carry and offload the cargo in Kenya. Who cleared the Njeri ship to travel to Kenya? How did it offload? Over the weekend, we were told that the deal has resulted in so-called structured sourcing of the dollar. If that is the case, why has the exchange rate not improved? How come it has not lowered the cost of oil? What benefits have the so-called structured sourcing of the dollar brought to an end? We are being told that since the deal, you have stopped paying for oil in dollars. We believe that Kenyans don't care whether oil is paid for in dollars, shillings, or rupee. They care about the cost of oil. Nonetheless, we are challenging the government to share with Kenyans evidence of payment of oil in Kenya shillings. Show us documents indicating when the payment was made in Kenya shillings, the bank accounts, and the recipients of the payment. This regime has told Kenyans so many fictitious stories that only documentary evidence will help the country separate fact from fiction. The oil companies and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum have claimed that it is easy to verify that corporate tax is being paid by the oil companies. We agree that this shouldn't be a difficult task. So we are asking these firms to table the evidence of meeting the corporate tax obligations. Don't tell us, show us. We hope the Kenya Revenue Authority is listening to our demand for evidence of corporate tax compliance by Oryx, Galana, and Gulf oil companies. The Ministry of Energy and Petroleum must also table the supplier purchase agreement in this deal. If the deal was to benefit Kenyans, its details should not be hidden from them. In subsequent comments on this matter since last Thursday, I have questioned why the Director General of the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Mr. Daniel Kiptoo, could go to the Middle East, participate in the oil negotiation, and then come back to Nairobi to regulate the prices. How can EPRA be a player and a referee at the same time? Where is the ethics and professionalism in this? How can this be in compliance with the Public Officer Ethics Act? We are still waiting for answers. When Kenya signed this deal, we had the regional markets, especially that of Uganda, in mind. The Gulf nations of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates were definitely aware that we import for the region.
I can confirm to the country that the G2G petroleum products engagement with our international oil companies is above board, is transparent, is innovative, and it has made the biggest difference in our country. If we hadn't been innovative, we would have driven the country in the direction that was going then, of more subsidies, greater debt, more confusion, and the whole of that space. Let me say this for the record, confidently for the record, that, and it is not for me to say it is working or not. I want to challenge the speculators and the agents of the cartels to go and speak to the oil marketing companies in Kenya to go and speak to the players in Kenya instead of the speculation, rumor mongering, scamming that is going on. I want to assure them that the fishing they are doing for a scandal in this administration, they are not about to succeed.
Now, things have changed. And just within 8 months, the government is regretting that the deal that they praised and told Kenyans was the solution has failed to meet its objective. I want us to look at this, but before that, if you are coming in the areas of Luanda or you are using that route to Luanda, then there is amazing restaurant that I want to introduce to you, Fat Baby Restaurant. Now, drop in there and sample their amazing food. They have some amazing food stuff there. If you want to traditional foods, if you want chips, if you also want to take just like a soft drink and go home, you know, it's the best place for you to visit. When I was going home, I visited the Fat Baby Hotel and Restaurant in Luanda. It was such an amazing place. You can contact them there. The number is 0768247560. 0768247560. Fat Baby. And that is where they say quality. They have the best quality food in Luanda. Luanda is on your way ukitoka Kisumu, Maseno, Luanda. So maybe nikienda home, nikifika Luanda, take the route going to Siaya. People who go to Busia, you take the direct route. So get there, my people, subscribers and supporters around Luanda and those who are also using that route. When you're dropping Luanda, think about Fat Baby because Kevin or Under the Bold, we mentioned it. Now, I just want to show you the hypocrisy on government side and just to tell you that the executive is cornered. I normally say that I pride as one of the analysts that has consistently been analyzing G2G. Yes, I think people who follow the Bold know very well that if you want to get the best information and the best update about this G2G, then this is the place you will get it the right way. Now, we have been vindicated. I raised these questions. I complained. I said no. We have been vindicated, by the way. Now, I wanted to see the picky ponky games that government is playing with this report. This report has reached to us, and if you see this newspaper I'm carrying, this is People Daily. Not People Daily, Business Daily. Business Daily, Treasury admits deal with Gulf oil firms a flop. That is what is in the headline. This is the story that the country is talking about. If you read that story, the article, the full article is on page 2. I don't know. Yes, this is page 2. The headline is normally the page 1. Yeah, headline is normally the page 1 of any newspaper, by the way. So, page 2. If you look at page 2, this is an article. This is the story that was written. Monetary Fund IMF said the Treasury said the government intends to exit the arrangement under which country imports oil over a credit period in December, citing distortions it has created in the forex market. Are you getting the reason? They're saying it has created distortions in the forex market. The article continues to say, the government intends to exit the oil import arrangement as we are cognizant of distortions it has created in the FX forex market and the accompanying increase in the rollover risk of private sector financing facilities supporting it, and remain committed to private market solutions in the energy sector. The Treasury is quoted saying in an IMF report published on Wednesday. So we've not, remember, Treasury quoted saying in an IMF report. I want to show you the reason why we are, and this is one of the points, and maybe I want to break it down for you. What happens here is we get the oil on credit, we sell the oil, then we pay later. So we did the first installment. We were supposed to, the first 6 months. So we did the first installment in September. So the local banks are supposed to mobilize the dollars, because remember, we are paying in dollars. It's only the oil retailers that are selling in Kenyan shillings and taking that money in bank in Kenyan shillings. But the three oil marketing companies, the Oryx, Galana, and the other one, are paying in dollars. So the banks that give letters of credit are supposed to mobilize the required dollars after 6 months, of course, as was agreed, then we repay. So we are saying, as much as they're mobilizing, it is causing distortions, and that is what IMF is saying, that the mobilization by banks to get those dollars to pay the Dubai companies is causing extortions. But I'm telling you, government is not going to tell you that. I want to show you a tweet by Kinuthia. We just want to get that tweet here. Yes, so Kinuthia is Pius Kinuthia. Kinuthia Pius is a government blogger, and I believe he speaks on behalf of government. There are quite of things, a number of, I want you to look at the narrative they are driving. So why has the deal with the Gulf oil flopped? The government arrangement was meant to give comfort to the oil farms in the source countries about the security of payments, that they will be paid, which is true. Then in that deal that was signed, there was a room to review terms of agreements to accommodate a drop in the international prices, oil prices, that we will come back and renegotiate when the prices drop, which is also fine. However, when international oil prices started dropping and the need to review the agreements arose, the Gulf oil companies flouted the very agreement they had signed. They declined to invoke the clause and stuck to the term that only allowed for fixed premiums, failing to factor in a drop in international fuel prices. Tell it to the birds, Pius. Tell it to the birds. Tell it to the birds. Kenyan government extended that deal for the next 12 months. So that deal is supposed to end in December 2024. If that is the truth, then why did we extend the deal? Tell it to the birds. No. And imagine, now look at, if that is the problem, then why is IMF not saying it? Fine. Why is it not in the IMF report? Because according to the IMF report, they're saying very well that it has caused distortions in the forex market. That's what they're saying. Now, pro-government bloggers is creating a spin, accusing the Dubai company that they failed to put in. But then, if that is the truth, if the truth is that they decided not to review prices downwards, aren't we seeing the prices going down in December and January? So even if you are accusing them, aren't we seeing the prices going down in consistency with the global price decrease? So this spin is actually just one, because they're feeling like the public is asking the question and they don't want to be blamed. And in fact, this is a spin by bloggers who want to save the face of the economic bookmasters that actually caused this. Now, I just want to share with you a tweet. There is a tweet by David Ndii. Look at this tweet. This was October. Contrary to the noise about slide despite the petroleum G2G, we did not sell out to stabilize shilling. Fine. We set out to stabilize the foreign exchange market, availability of foreign exchange, restore the interbank market, and clean float. We have achieved the first and the good progress until the second. Without G2G, we'd be in Ghana. Surely. Sasa si ndio hiyo nyinyi wenyewe mnasema it has failed. So and I want to tell you, you know the members of the executive. The members of the executive are politicians. This report is just coming at a time the President William Ruto flies to Uganda. And we believe, and of course we had been told that a meeting was being slated between the two leaders. apart from the peace deal between Ethiopia and Somalia that is being negotiated there, Uganda had protested against the exploitation nature of G2G in the landlocked country. And we believe they had even threatened that they would import oil through Tanzania, and Kenya will lose the market share. Number two, that also asked the UNOC Oil, their oil marketing company there, to be allowed to be one of the AMCs, so that oil marketing companies, so that they're just allowed to import oil through the country. So two things happened, and I want to explain. I want to get this. The oil imports went down. The volume imports went down here in the country because of VAT tax on fuel. That VAT tax on fuel has affected consumption of fuel. Yeah, people have been looking for innovative ways of doing things, and even if it is using one car, trying to find innovative ways. Number two, the re-export market in Uganda has also gone down because Uganda has also been trying to explore now other avenues. So remember when we were negotiating with the Dubai companies, the Uganda market was part of our bargain that we have a large market in East Africa because we export to Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, and other countries. So we used that as a trap to explain, to sell for us to get the deal, and that deal has failed. Now, I maintain that while Kenya Kwanza projected that deal in public as innovative, the move was suspect. The motive was suspect. Kenyans asked question, why is it that global prices are going down while our prices are not reflecting in the pump? We asked those questions. Why is it that we are not feeling the impact? The prices allegedly are supposed to have reduced by 32 shillings, but in case they're reducing by 5.353. So, what is the interpretation of this situation? I think there's some few things we must point out and must see from this. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. Number one, and I said this last year, the Dubai deal was a vendetta to lock out allegedly Uhuru Kenyatta interest or other people's interest in the oil sector. And I want to explain that. The OTS, the open tender system that was replaced by G2G, used to work this way. All the oil marketing companies were given level ground to go and bid. They go in the market. Kama mwingine anaenda South Africa, mwingine aende Dubai, mwingine aende Turkey, mwingine aende wapi. You look for oil. Now, the person, one company that will find oil at the lowest price will be given the tender to import the oil. So, and remember how that was beautiful. Now, if you find that you have the cheapest oil in Turkey and the other person has different, you cast your net wider. Then you come back here, you'll be given tender monthly to import oil so that you sell to the other 96 oil marketing companies. And it was open. Now, what did that mean? That means that even other oil marketing companies had a privilege. If you miss this month, probably you'll even get that next month. Now, G2G came and changed that. And now, all the oil, the other 96 were locked out, and tender was given to 3 oil marketing companies. Only the 3. And the 3 were also under instructions that you can only import oil from the UAE, from the Dubai. So the other 96, no one was allowed to import oil outside that bracket. You can see the way that was the structure of that deal, and that was to lock out. That is why it has even failed. The motive was never what is being explained here. The motive was, unajua wakiendelea kupata watatusumbua nini. It was just that, packaged with some political vendetta against people that they believe had interest in the oil. Number 2, the deal, it is a point of Ruto's handlers schemed this deal as just a way to get kickbacks. It's true. Companies, you will not be shocked at one point if we may have to, knowing the truth of how people got their cut and kickbacks on such deals. So these were huge deals that people were also angling for kickbacks. Now, the other political interpretation is this. Ruto must kick out the economic advisors over this colossal failure. A bunch of incompetent and short-sighted fellows. When Uhuru Kenyatta realized there was a problem in the maize sector, and he kept on warning Mwangi Kiunjuri that you rather fix it or leave, he kicked out Mwangi Kiunjuri. Now William Ruto, this bunch of all the fellows that were behind this deal needs to be shown the door. That is the best thing. Otherwise, what exactly are they doing? Because they have plunged the country into something that turned out to be a flop. Number 3, aren't we seeing a diplomatic tiff with the Dubai nation when this deal collapses? You know why? We gave this report to IMF. IMF is brittle with institutions the other side. Then, instead of owning our mistake, we are blaming them. You know, this blogger is carrying that spin, and the media will have that spin. Instead of just owning our mistake, we've turned the sword and we are blaming them that they did not help us. So you see how we got ourselves into a mess. If you're not careful on how we handle this, we might end up into another diplomatic fight with Dubai. Warning to President Ruto. This is a clear message that executive should not have monopoly of ideas. Always have extensive public participation, because being too dismissive of others is also dangerous. This is a deal that executive defended by tooth and nail, and any other person that questioned this was branded Azimio or anti-government. Now here, who is laughing? Wacha tumerambwa. What do you think, guys? If you're going to home, passing through Luanda, pass through Fat Baby Hotel and Restaurant. It's just around the stage there, off the road, opposite the road there. So contact them, get good food there, traditional stuff. They have yam chom, they have soft drinks, and quite some cool place. You can visit there and you'll really love it. Thank you.